Good morning. I'm glad you're in room 6 with Sammy to talk about the daily office. I wish I could be there. I double booked myself. I need to be with the folks that are helping to lead this Advent pageant. But I want to tell you how important I think it is to be a part of some daily practice of prayer. And of course, what we're talking about today is the daily office. One of the best things I ever did was back in, 1983 or 4, in seminary, was to begin a daily practice of prayer. And I want to just say a couple of things about this as you then talk over with Sammy how this whole thing plays out. Why show up each day for prayer? I'll tell you why. Because the most important factor in this life is God. And what we need to do each day is to be intentional about bringing ourselves into the presence of God. And to trust that if we do that, it matters. That if we bring ourselves into the presence of the one who loves us beyond what we could ever imagine, it matters. If we bring ourselves into the presence of the one who is the source of our life, it matters. A few things about prayer. Daily office really means daily duty. And I just wrote down a couple of things that I think have been so significant for me to learn over the years. The first thing, it's all about showing up. Daily duty. It's about simply bringing myself into God's presence. For me, I do it down here in my basement. Some people need a nice meditative place. As you can see, this place is just full of junk. But that's my life, I bring myself and all this mess into God's presence. Here I am on my couch. I've got my old Turpin High School sweatshirt on that I wore when I watched my daughter's basketball games. Some people like to have a candle, whatever. You do what you need to do, but it's about showing up. Do I always show up? No, I forget to show up. I get distracted. Don't set yourself up to think, I'm going to do this every day and I'm just going to do it perfectly. Get over that now. But make the intention to show up. The second thing is it's not about how it feels. This is so key about prayer. Very often people start a life of prayer and the first few days of doing it, they think, oh gosh, this was so good. I felt so centered, so relaxed. Prayer must provide these kind of benefits all the time. Wrong. About 3 or 4 days in, you're bored. You get distracted. You start thinking to yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I sitting on this couch in this room by myself? I could be watching Sports Center. I could be having another cup of coffee. I could go for a run. That is a productive thing to do. I'll be in good shape. The mind starts to play all sorts of tricks. It's not about how it feels. Some days you will feel centered and grounded. Some days will be full of agitation. Doesn't matter. It's about being there. It's about showing up. It's not about how it feels. And thirdly, this is just so key. It's not about doing it well. This is not something you ever get good at. Let me repeat that again. It's not something you ever get good at. It's about a flawed disciple, a distracted disciple, simply bringing oneself into God's presence through listening to God's word, through saying the prayers of the church, through saying the Psalms, these prayers to God, and in the end, trusting that that matters. Which then, when you think about it, this is really about grace. It's about what God's going to do. It's not about what we're going to do well and therefore at the end of the day get some wonderful product because we were just so awesome at this. One final thing, don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't try to do more than is really realistic. As you begin to do this, get a feel for how much of the daily office you can do. Some people do all the readings assigned for a day. Some do just one. Do what you can do. Be easy on yourself. Remember, the thing is showing up. The thing is Roger Green getting on this couch in this messy basement and simply saying, okay, God, I'm here with you, baby. You and me. Let me know how much you love me, how much you care about me and this world. Open my ears to your words and deepen my trust that all of that matters and matters significantly. I look forward to joining with you during this Advent. I think we're going to have a couple of times together. Most of the time I'm just doing the daily office on my own. The monastic traditions, of course, gather each day to do this together. Some churches have daily morning and evening prayer together. I look forward to being with you live, maybe on Zoom, whatever you guys sort out you want to do. Prayer matters. Prayer changes your life. Thanks for being here.